learning how to prompt and going to my friends and teaching them how to do prompts for all their papers. I would be all in on large language models like ChatGPT and Gemini. Particularly small to medium-sized businesses don't understand AI yet. And it doesn't matter if I'm 16, I'd be teaching them as well.
I think everything is looking at AI now in a different way. I think AI growth is going to be exponential. The majority of businesses in America, for example, are between 5 and 500 employees. So they're small businesses. They create 62% of the jobs. They want to use AI. You should help them solve for that, and they'll pay you.
We all know how rare it is for billionaires to agree on anything, and I mean literally anything at all. This time around, however, they are all saying the same thing. AI automation is the fastest and easiest way to build wealth in 2025. Now, you're probably thinking, I don't know the first thing about AI. Well, great, because this video is exactly for you. Over the next 14 minutes, I'm going to show you how to go from I know nothing about AI to landing your first $2,000 to $5,000 per month client in weeks, not months. Hey there, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Chris. About 2 years ago, I co-founded a company called Tora Tech where I work with data and build AI tools. I do hold a bachelor's in data science, but honestly, I'm hardly a tech genius. I just learned how to connect the right AI tools together, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to do the exact same thing so you can make some money and build the life of your dreams just like I did. So, straight to the point. Every business owner I know right now is drowning in a sea of mundane, repetitive tasks. Emails to answer, leads to follow up on, appointments to set, etc., etc. Obviously, AI can do 80 to 90% of these tasks, and if you checked out my last video, you know that we have pretty sophisticated AI systems that do these tasks really well. So why are business owners still overwhelmed? Because they have no clue how to use these AI systems. So, is the answer to teach them how to use it? Nope. Mark Cuban and Kevin O'Leary are right. Small to medium business owners are not looking for someone to consult with them on how to integrate AI into their businesses. They don't need another thing to learn. They need someone to take that job off their hands and implement. This is where you come in. But you need to move in fast because yes, the window is pretty wide open right now, but it's also closing much faster than you think. Real talk. I've watched dozens and dozens of people try to launch something in AI this year alone. Maybe about 5% of them, if it's even up to that, saw it through. And yes, something could be said about their discipline and tenacity, but really it's not entirely their fault. I've watched with pain as some of these people made the exact same mistakes I made when I started my AI automation journey. But in this video, I'm going to share my story with you and show you the exact things I do and the things I'd ignore if I had to start this journey all over again. Pay attention. Look, an AI automation agency is not rocket science. The bottom line of what you're doing is helping businesses save time and therefore money using AI tools and systems. You're not programming, you're not writing code, none of that. It's really just plug and play with tools that already exist and you get paid for that. Plus you get to look like a genius too, which I know isn't as good as money, but it's still pretty cool all the same. Now, every time I speak to people about setting up an AI automation agency, they tend to come up with different excuses as to why they just aren't cut out for this path. And then I lay out the facts and they change their mind pretty quickly. Stay with me. From my interactions with people, I can say that there are 5 main excuses everyone tends to give. And I can guarantee that one or all of them have crossed your mind since you started this video, especially the last one. Let's begin with the first and the most popular objection. I'm not an AI expert. And to that I say, what does it change? Look, businesses aren't looking for AI experts. I'll tell you what they're looking for in just a second. But first, I need you to not be so hard on yourself. ChatGPT launched in 2022, right? And when it did, everyone from academics to tech juggernauts like Google was equally blindsided. Point is, AI is unlike anything we've ever seen before in the world of tech. It's a totally different beat that reset the entire playing field. And that's good news for you, non-expert, because it means that you're on equal footing with those you consider experts. No one's ahead of you. Everyone's on ground zero. Now, if you really want to become an expert, you've got to take your eyes out of the classroom or some certificate course and start interacting with AI in the real world. And that's precisely what businesses are looking for. People who can help them adopt AI in practicable and profitable ways. Pure and simple. Besides, that's the good thing about setting up an AI automation agency. AI itself will do the heavy lifting for you even if you have zero experience. ChatGPT, for instance, can literally explain everything you need to put you a step ahead of the business owners you're looking ahead. And I meant that literally. Sounds unbelievable, but one step ahead is really all you need to be useful to the tons of businesses looking to adopt AI. These small business owners are not looking for AI experts. They can't afford them anyway. What they are looking for is translators, people who can bridge the gap between tools and results. And that's precisely why the next objection also doesn't stand. Another top excuse I commonly hear is I can't code. And I get it, it makes sense. It just doesn't apply in the AI automation space. Let me tell you why. No business is dropping $20,000 on custom AI systems without first understanding what the heck AI is and where it can deliver ROI for their business. That's your in. These guys need education and consulting, and if you can't code, then that's your slice of the AI pie. Don't believe me? Well, what if I told you that Accenture just spent $3 billion hiring AI consultants? Or that BCG predicts that AI consulting will make up nearly half of its business as soon as next year? And don't worry, I can hear your pushback from here. Like, Accenture is going to hire me. I hear you, but my point wasn't to say you should go work for Accenture venture, I'm only showing you that there's serious money in this thing. Those Fortune 500 companies are not the target. The 33 million small to medium-sized businesses that make up 62% of our economy, those are your guys. The gym owners, the local dentists, the travel agency, the local coffee shops, the restaurants. Educating these people, consulting for them, that's where your money is at if you can't code. And even if you decide somewhere down the line that automation is the logical next step for you and your business, even then you still don't need to learn to code. You can just build a team. This takes us to the third most common excuse. I'm not business savvy. I'll give you this one. Building a business is tough. Building your first business is guaranteed chaos, but can you hack the system? Yes. All you need to do is choose the right business model and the right industry. These two things make or break you way more than hustle, trust me. Think about it. No amount of hard work is ever going to make you succeed in the newspaper industry, especially as a beginner. That's a declining industry. So, no matter how hard you work, the chances of failing are always going to be 1,000 times higher than your chances of succeeding. Now compare that to AI. Bain & Company says we're looking at an $8 trillion industry, and since AI just started, that market isn't dying anytime soon. So yes, starting out your business, you might crash a few times, but AI is such a young and profitable niche, it gives you that space to fail and learn until you get it right. Now, as always, start small. Begin by helping businesses solve problems for free. I'll show you how to land your first 3 clients and precisely what to offer them later in the video. In the meantime, solving problems will give you chops and grow your confidence. Then you can begin to take on bigger projects until your business naturally evolves into an automation agency. And that's the beautiful thing about a growing industry. Even baby steps can generate significant outcomes. So don't look down on those small steps you'll be taking at the start of your venture. The fourth excuse I commonly hear is, I don't have time. You may be surprised to hear this, but 1 hour per day is all you need. And I say need because you could absolutely put in more time, which means you'd progress faster. But if we're talking bare minimum, 1 hour a day for a period of 1 to 3 months will give you the edge you need to start pitching to businesses. This takes us to the fifth and the most widespread yet unbelievably misinformed excuse. It's too late for me anyway. Who told you that? AI automation isn't even close to being saturated yet. If you think everyone is on it simply because of the amount of information publicly available about AI automation, you wildly overestimate the proactiveness of humans in general. For instance, only 1% of people who watch this video will end up taking a step towards starting their own AI automation agency. Sounds pessimistic, but it's the truth. That AI is being talked about doesn't mean that people are acting. But let's even imagine everyone everywhere suddenly decided to hop on this train overnight. Digital marketing took about 25 years to get saturated. So I promise you, AI automation still has at least 5 years to get remotely saturated. AI automation only became a thing a couple of years ago after all, which means it still has a long road ahead, which takes us back to your first excuse, I'm not an expert. Look, if you start out today while the world is yet to wake up to the massive opportunity in AI automation, by the time this industry becomes more mainstream, you'd have acquired the experience, team, and client base to become the expert in the field. Don't forget what happened with the internet. In 1995, people asked, what's a website? And companies like agency.com stepped in to help businesses answer that question. In 4 years, these guys grew their business to a net worth of $2 billion. It's 2025, and there's a new question, what's AI and how can I use it? If you're watching this video right now, then you can answer that question for the businesses around you. And you know what's even better? The barrier to entry is ridiculously low with AI. Need to learn anything? Google, YouTube, and ChatGPT will teach you for free. Can't code? Tons of no-code tools you can use, not very techy. AI is mostly about writing clear instructions anyway. So what's stopping you now? You got billionaires saying this is the path they'd take if they could start all over again. Projections for this market are in the trillions of dollars. Plus the space is quite diverse with something for everyone, whatever your experience or ambitions. I've spent the first part of this video showing you why you're the best person existing at the best time to break into one of the best, most profitable business niches right now. In the next section, I'm going to show you exactly how to start your own AI automation business. I'll show you exactly how to get in, what to offer, who to pitch, and how to get paid. Let's go. All right, so your first step should be finding your niche. You know what? Let me make that easier to understand. Find your unfair advantage. I'm calling it that because I think the use of the word niche doesn't make people realize what exactly they should be looking for when picking one. Where you decide to niche shouldn't be an area that is far-fetched for you. Your best starting point is that place where you already have a natural upper hand. Have experience in real estate, e-commerce, coaching, then that's where you should begin. Since you already speak the language, it becomes tremendously easier to break in and relate to your potential clients. That's better than trying to learn a new niche from scratch. You'll waste time, get lethargic, probably get frustrated too, and then dump the whole thing. It's too risky, especially since picking a new niche isn't going to guarantee more money anyway. So stick to what you know, at least in the beginning. This takes us to step 2, and this is your moneymaker, so pay attention. The more you know about AI than your clients, the more they'll be willing to pay you for that knowledge. So that knowledge gap is your leverage, and you want to make sure you capitalize on it. But how exactly do you do that? And that's the best part of AI automation. AI will tell you nearly everything. In this step, for instance, you could go to ChatGPT and ask what the biggest time waster is for your niche, or you could ask what parts of their business models could be automated. ChatGPT will return with ideas in seconds, which arms you with real pain points that you can use to craft your offer and make it more valuable. And now that you've got that sorted, it's time to find your first set of clients. Now, I should probably specify that these clients will very likely be non-paying. In fact, I advise it because it takes the pressure off and affords you the space to build freely, fail small, and learn fast. So, this point in your journey should be about learning, acquiring skills, and building your confidence. Every small win adds up. So, the fact that your first clients are non-paying shouldn't be an excuse not to give it your best, because for every non-paying client you fail to do a good job for, you further postpone the day you land your first paying client. All right, so how do you get your first set of clients? No, not cold emailing. That's for later. Look closer to home, and I mean that literally. Talk to friends, family, colleagues, essentially people you already know and have a relationship with. Heads up, the first client is always the hardest, but once you land them, it just snowballs after that. That said, as you may have already guessed, your warm network is eventually going to run cold. It's not like you have an unlimited number of friends and family, right? Well, when that happens, that's your cue to scale, which takes us to step 4. So, you've done an excellent job with your warm connections and you want to start reaching out. Well, then you're going to need a lead generation system to bring in consistent leads. Now, this could be content marketing, it could be ads, it could be DMs, it could be anything. Just pick something that works for your skills and resources. However, don't scale before you turn your offer into a plug and play package. This is what takes you from selling AI to selling outcomes. And if you know anything about selling, you know that people don't buy stuff, they buy dreams. This is what packaging your offer right helps you to do. It helps you offer results. Now, this is the point where 90% of people stop, but if you really want to turn AI automation from a side gig into a full-time income, the next step is unmissable. You've got to build a team. This step is where you go from working in your business to working on it. And to do that, you need a rockstar team. But where do you find them? Well, you go where they are. And no, I don't mean job boards. I mean their digital communities, X, LinkedIn, subreddits like our prompt engineering, along Discord communities, and if all else fails, Fiverr or Upwork. Now, most people tend to request resumes when making hires. I say swap that out for practical tests. This way you filter out those who say they know the tools from those who actually do. Besides, in a fast-moving world like AI, resumes are largely overrated. But hey, that's still a bit far off in the future, so I don't want to dwell too long on that. Plus, we'll be launching our community soon, where you'll be able to find the right talent for your agency. So please subscribe so you can be notified when we release that. Alright, so there you go, everything I do and avoid if I were to begin my AI automation journey over again. Now, I know that most people will watch this video and do nothing, and that can either be your story or your advantage. If you decide to be among the 1% who takes 1 hour today to find a niche and test this out, even if it's just one automation, you will have put yourself ahead of 99% of the market. So here's your mission, and it's super low stakes, so it hardly even feels like a challenge. Think of one of your friends who runs a business. Now, message them and ask them, what's one thing you wish you could automate about your processes? Once they tell you, get to work and start figuring it out. You've got Google and ChatGPT at your fingertips, so you have all that you need. If you do that, then congratulations, you've just broken into the AI automation game. Now just keep pushing the needle, and soon you'll be needing a team of your own. Remember, you're not late, you're not even on time. You're early just as long as you start now.